Hello everyone, I am Ankit and you're watching StudyIQ IAS English channel. In our today's video, we are going to understand a very good news for frequent travelers in our country. That government has come up with a FASTag annual pass for rupees 3000 that enables you to take 200 trips free of cost after paying this annual fees, right? So in this today's video, we'll first try to understand what is this FASTag payment system, how it works, and then we'll try to understand important features of the annual pass that the government has come up with to lessen the cost burden of the frequent travelers in our country, right? First, let us start our today's discussion by understanding the context why we are discussing this news article, right? Now, recently, the Union Minister for Road Transport and Highways, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, he made a very important announcement. He said that the government is going to come up with a FASTag-based annual pass system where the consumers would be required to pay rupees 3000 and that will provide them the hassle-free highway travel in India, right? So in this regard, we'll first try to understand what is this FASTag based electronic payment system, and then we'll try to ascertain what are the important features of this annual pass that will be provided by the Ministry of Road and Transport, right? Now the notes, if you want to download it, they will be available on the Telegram channel ATS Live, which you can search easily on the Telegram app. Alternatively, you can also scan the QR code. This will take you to the channel. Subscribe it if you still haven't and download the notes, which will be made available after the session ends. Okay. Now, what you need to understand first is how this FASTag payment system works. FASTag payment system essentially is an electronic toll collection system developed by the company known as National Payments Corporation of India, NPCI, in close collaboration with National Highway Authority of India. Yes, this is this very organization NPCI that has also developed UPI, which you and I use on a daily basis, right? So this FASTag payment system, it enables automatic toll payment system at toll plazas in our country using a technology known as radio frequency identification or RFID technology. So this sticker, which is a FASTag, it is essentially stuck on your car's windshield. So whenever you pass through a toll collection system, that reader automatically reads your FASTag and automatically deducts the amount from your prepaid account, which is linked to your FASTag, right? So this eliminates the need for manual cash transactions on the toll plaza. And you can understand earlier there was long congestion on the toll plaza, and this automatically will lessen the congestion on our toll and will provide a hassle-free experience to the people who are navigating through our highways, right? Now, this FASTag payment system was launched in 2014 on a pilot basis, that is, it was on an experimentary basis, and later on in 2021, government made it mandatory so that every people traveling through roads in our country, they have to pay toll using this FASTag payment system only. So as to incentivize people to use this electronic payment system, government has come up with a regulation that suppose if you are required to pay a toll at a particular toll plaza, that is rupees 60, you can use or you can pay this using the FASTag. But if you're willing to pay cash for it, then you'll have to pay twice the amount, that is 120 rupees, because government wants you to adopt this electronic payment system because it lessens the congestion on the toll payment system, right? So in this regard, let us understand how this RFID technology works. That is the core behind this FASTag payment system, right? Now, RFID, it basically works using radio waves which wirelessly identifies and tracks objects, animals, or even people, right? So there is this very famous railway protection system known as Kavach, the question which also appeared in 2025, and this Kavach is also made using this RFID technology itself. Now, this RFID system, it basically consists of three components. First is an RFID reader, obviously. Another is an RFID tag. This is the tag which can be attached to any moving object, be it a railway engine or be it a car. Similarly, to read this tag, you need an antenna which will throw the radio signal and identify the tag, right? So basically, these are the three components based on which the RFID works. So first component is the RFID tag, which is also the transponder, and this contains a microchip with stored data. So an RFID tag, that is the FASTag attached in your car, will consist of your car's registration number, and it will also consist of payment details, that is the prepaid account that you link with your FASTag payment system. And to detect this, the toll plazas needs to have an RFID reader, which will send out radio signals that will help this toll plaza detect the nearby FASTags in the cars. And to throw this signal, you need an antenna which facilitates the communication between this tag and the reader, right? So these are the essentially three components of any RFID system, and this tag is installed in your car, this reader is installed in the toll plaza, and to help connect these two, you need an antenna, right? Now this RFID tag or RFID reader, it emits a radio signal, and when this radio signal is emitted from the tag, this reader, it is activated by the tag, and then it sends the stored data, which might be unique ID number, which might be registration number of the car, or which might be the payment details of that particular FASTag, back to the reader system. And this information is then processed in the computer system attached to the tolling booth. So that is how the tolling booth is able to ascertain whether your FASTag has adequate balance or not. Now, what you need to understand, the RFID systems or RFID tags can be of different types. The very basic ones, these are passive tags, and this is the FASTag is also an example of what? It is a passive tag. The benefit of passive tag is that it does not require any internal power source to power it. It is just powered by the reader signal itself. But the shortcoming of this passive tag is that it has a very short range. You can only detect it up to a 25 meters of distance. So the better tags, or the ones that are more technologically advanced, these are called as active tags. The problem with them that they need their own power system like a battery, but the benefit of using them that they have a longer range, that you can detect these active tags for hundreds of meters as against 25 meters for a passive tag. Right, so the active tags, they come up with advanced security features like encrypted signals, which are not available in the passive tags. What you need to understand, FASTag is an example of passive tag because you don't need a power system to keep it powered up. It is just powered by the trackers or the reader signal, right? And this radio signal, which is emitted by the reader, it activates the tag and then allows it to send the stored data to the reader, which helps the reader ascertain the various important details that is required to make the electronic toll payment, right? So this is basically how RFID technology works. Now, what you need to understand, the good aspect about the RFID technology, that it does not require line of sight to be operated. For example, other identification systems like barcode, like QR code that we use on a daily basis, you need to scan them by keeping them in line of sight, right? But you don't require the same with RFID technology. So suppose even if you hide an RFID tag behind yourself, the reader in front of you will be able to recognize it. That is why it can be embedded even inside the objects. For example, how many of you have gone to a Decathlon store and have purchased clothes from it, right? So if you go to a Decathlon store and purchase the clothes from it, you will realize each and every clothing of Decathlon has an RFID tag embedded in it, because otherwise people will steal them and not pay for the clothes that they buy from Decathlon, right? So similarly, such RFID tags are used in inventory management, in retail sector, in animal tracking, or even providing access control. Many of the people, they have their ID cards with RFID tag. When they scan the RFID tag, the company would know that they are present in the premises, right? So this aspect is enabled only because you do not require to scan RFID tag based on the line of sight as against QR code and barcode, right? So these are the advantages of RFID technology. Now let us understand very quickly how your FASTag that is there in your car, it actually works. Now once you purchase a FASTag, you have to link it with a prepaid or a saving banks account, right? So that there is a money in your FASTag which will enable you to give toll payments. Then you have to affix this tag to your vehicle's windshield, that is the front glass in front of your car, right? Now when your vehicle is moving towards a toll plaza, that is the FASTag attached in your vehicle, it is scanned by the reader installed in the toll plaza, and therefore the reader is able to identify your car and make payments from it. So as soon as you move through the toll plaza, the reader scans your FASTag, the toll amount, which can be any amount, is automatically deducted from the linked prepaid account from your FASTag, and therefore it enables the vehicle to pass through the toll plaza without the needing to pay physical cash for your toll payment, right? So there's, in a way, reduces the congestion in a toll plaza. It reduces the time that it takes for you to navigate through toll plaza, and it also makes toll process easier for the government and for the highway authorities, right? The thing is, your FASTag is linked to a prepaid account, right? So it needs to be recharged frequently so that you have a sufficient balance to make the toll payments. And if you don't have a sufficient balance to make the toll payments, you'll have to pay twice the amount in cash in the toll plaza. So that is an important thing, and that is why government is trying to promote more and more electronic payments through FASTag using the toll, right? So this is basically how FASTag works. Now let us come back to the topic of the day, that is the annual pass scheme of the FASTag. Now you understand, whenever people are moving frequently through the highways, a large component of their travel is spent by giving toll money, right? So this is a very huge burden on people who are traveling frequently. So to alleviate their burden, the government has come up with an annual pass scheme, which is provided within your FASTag also. And this will allow free passage for private cars, jeeps and vans at national highways and national expressway without needing to pay per trip toll fees, right? Now this scheme, that is, if you purchase the annual pass from the FASTag, you are provided 200 trips and a 1-year validity to use these 200 trips. And after you completed 200 trips, or if you are not able to complete 200 trips and 1 year passes by, your FASTag automatically reverts back to the usual FASTag, right? So FASTag, you can make, using FASTag, you can make payments on any roads. You can make payments on national highways, state highways, private expressways, private highways, etc. Even some malls, parking lots, they also provide you to pay using the FASTag, right? But when you buy these annual pass, you get maximum of 200 trips and the validity of that annual pass is of 1 year. Automatically, by the name you can understand it, right? Now let us understand frequently asked questions about the FASTag or annual pass scheme, right? Now what you need to understand, that the user, if they are able to complete 200 trips within a period of 1 year, they can again purchase this annual pass and this will replenish their 200 trips again, and the validity automatically would be 1 year again from the date of repayment, right? So suppose if you purchased your first annual pass on 1st of October 2025, so this will be valid up till 30th of September 2026, right? But if you complete 200 pass before 30th of September 2026, suppose if you completed it by 1st of June 2026, right? So on 1st of June, you can purchase an annual pass again. This will provide you 200 trips more, and the validity of this 200 trips that you have bought on 1st June 2026, this will extend up till 21st of May 2027, right? So this is how this annual FASTag works. Now what you need to understand, that the annual pass that you buy on your FASTag is not transferable. You can't use it on any other vehicle, and if you use it on any other vehicle, that will make your FASTag invalid, right? And this is valid only on the vehicle on which you have bought the annual pass, right? So you can't use it for another vehicle that you may have, okay? Similarly, there are other questions also. What do you mean 200 trips? Does it mean I can go and come back and I don't have to pay toll payment? The answer is no. Suppose if you're traveling from cities like Delhi to Gurgaon, right? And in between, there is this toll plaza located here where you have to pay 60 rupees worth of toll. Okay. So when you go from Delhi to Gurgaon, this will mean one trip, and when you return back to your home from Gurgaon to Delhi, this will mean second trip, right? So this is how this is actually, the trip here means actually when you pass toll plaza once. So when you pass toll plaza twice, you'll have to pay twice the amount, right? So that is how it will be deducted 2 trips. Now there are some other instances where there are close tolling fee plazas. For example, if you enter a parking lot, so you pay when you are exiting that parking lot. So in those closed circuit systems, you'll have to pay only once. But when you're moving through a highway, for example, between Delhi and Gurgaon, there is this toll plaza in between. You'll have to pay once, that is your first trip, and then the second trip would be when you're returning back from Gurgaon to Delhi, right? So this is how this basically works. 200 trips means you can navigate between Delhi to Gurgaon 100 times, because you'll have to pay twice. Once you go from Delhi to Gurgaon, then Gurgaon to Delhi, okay? So this is how this basically works. Now, is annual pass mandatory for everyone? The answer is no. It is not a mandatory thing. If you travel quite less, say 10 to 20 times a year, why would you need to pay for annual pass when you can pay for one trip each, and automatically it would be less than 3,000 rupees. So this is not mandatory. The existing FASTag ecosystem will continue to operate. So users who do not operate or who do not opt for an annual pass, they can continue using their FASTag for regular transactions that they'll have to pay on toll each and every time that they pass, irregardless of their annual pass, right? So this is how annual pass is not mandatory. It is up to you to buy that annual pass or not, depending upon how frequently you travel on the national highways. Now, which vehicles are covered under this pass? Can you buy it for a commercial Innova? The answer is no. This annual pass is applicable only for private non-commercial cars, jeeps and vans. So whatever you have in your private capacity, you can use that annual pass for only that. Suppose if you have bought an Innova and you have done it a commercial registration to run it for taxi, you can't use that annual pass for that Innova. You can use that annual pass for Innova if that is a private vehicle made for your own trips only, right? So Ministry of Road and Transport and Highway says that if you use your annual pass on a commercial vehicle, it will lead to immediate deactivation of your FASTag without any notice, right? So please make sure to use it only for your private vehicles. Now, how this annual pass gets activated? This gets activated once you verify the eligibility criteria of a vehicle and the associated FASTag. And after successful verification, the users like you and I, we need to pay rupees 3,000 for this particular year using the Rajmarg Yatra mobile application or the NHAI website. So you can go to these mobile application and website and you can pay 3,000 to buy the annual pass. And once the payment is confirmed, the annual pass will be activated on the registered FASTag, the details which you have already provided, and you will receive an SMS notification highlighting the same that your annual pass is now activated and it will be valid for next 365 days and up to 200 trips. Okay. Now the biggest question is what kind of or how can you get it activated? Now those who already have a FASTag, you do not need to purchase a new FASTag for it. Annual pass, it can be activated on your existing FASTag, provided that you meet the eligibility criteria. And what are the eligibility criteria here? First, your FASTag needs to be installed in the car's windshield. It needs to be linked to a valid vehicle registration number, which is a private vehicle and not a blacklisted one, right? So once you complete these criteria, your FASTag will be implemented. Now, are all toll plazas or when you travel through all roads in India, will this annual pass be validated? The answer is no. It is only valid for toll plazas that are located on national highways and on national expressways. Because except these two roads, there are other roads in our country also. There are private expressways like Yamuna Expressway, which connects Greater Noida to Agra. There are state highways also, and similarly, there are many good roads managed by state governments or local bodies. So you can't use that annual pass to pay on these roads. You can use your normal FASTag, you'll have to pay per trip, but you can't use your annual pass. You can use your annual pass only on national highway tolls and national expressway, and on rest of the roads you'll have to pay using your FASTag, but the user charge or normal toll will be applicable, right? Now, is the fees, that is 3,000 rupees for an annual pass, it will be fixed for every year or not? The answer is no, because government, when it put forward the notification, the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, it has said that the amount of fees payable for the annual pass, it may be revised annually with effect from 1st April every year. So before 1st April, the government may or may not increase the cost or decrease the cost of the annual pass depending upon what government thinks. So this is not a fixed payment. 3,000 rupees is valid only for this year. It might or it might not be changed next year also. Understood? Now I told you in 2015, a question came on near field communication, NFC. So I've curated that question, and this question now, RFID, what is the RFID technology? You have to identify the correct statements below. This is the question that you need to solve. Similarly, another question came relating to RFID tags. This is the latest question in 2025. Now understand, we have not dealt Kavach in detail. So you may or may not get this question correctly. It is okay if you don't get it correctly, but please make sure to give me the answer to this particular question in the comment section, because this can be solved easily after we have discussed our today's discussion in detail. Okay, you can give the answers in the comment section, and if you get it correctly, you will receive a thumbs up from me so that you'll know you've answered it correctly. Okay, and as usual, the notes, they will be available on the Telegram channel, as I've already told you, called as ATS Live. Go and search ATS Live, subscribe to the channel if you still haven't, and download the notes. You can also scan the QR code if you have problems to reach the channel. Okay, So this is all from my side. Have a very good night.